Looks like we got some frogs running around today. You guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Pre-sales are still raging on over here. Sneak peek just dropped this weekend. And, you know, I'm kind of impressed. Crowns are rolling through at 80s right now. And discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. Actually, this is a little bit different of a picture than we've seen. Still, Albaz is back in stock, which is good. Ripper M's are doing fine. Magistus going at 35. Since they fixed Betrayal, people are more confident in Exosister now, which I think is actually nice. They needed to actually fix that. Looks like Sheena coming in at 35s and doing just fine, but I think I love that we've got good amounts of commons here doing well. So discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase over here. Over on Kongs, same thing here. Looks like 30s, 3s, still Shackles are on, still doing very, very nicely on the market. Forbidden Crown, still 88 over here. We see Ripper coming through and doing wonderful on the market. And then, of course, the Twin Storm deities also doing the same thing. Once again, discount code MCO40, save you on your purchase. So, frogs, everybody. So a dupe frog has been underneath a constant rotation and pressure, I guess, this week. I'm not exactly shocked by this revelation because, I mean, every time dupe frog gets targeted for a buyout, it's always older format application. And I mean, take a look at this, man. Just over the last couple of days, whatever population of these would come through. I mean, you had some for 23s, you had a 30-year. You did have a Spanish copy actually come on the market for 26s, 20s, 35s. I mean, these have been rotating off of the market. This isn't just something that sits still and does its thing. Super dupe frogs, it's also one of those really weird things too, because this card, for whatever reason, they just chose not to do it for rarity collection. You know, they were like, hey, you know, here's all this older format stuff. Let's celebrate the history of the game. And for some reason, you know, Dupe dodged. Speaking of other frog stuff, how the mighty have fallen. You guys remember good old Swap, right? Swap ended up being one of the most expensive ultimators. I mean, there's a time that this card was $200+ rolling on up to like $300+. And as you can see, I mean, we've definitely seen this card falling down. I mean, it's a pretty normal thing. And they do not hardly sell at all. Actually, you did have one person that looks like they came through, wiped out a near mint playset on 124, so about a week ago on swaps, but that's interesting. Treeborn frogs, DR04s now have a price. That is interesting. Somebody bought a near mint one for $134 all the way back in October. It's very interesting just to see like the long term that some of these cards like DR04 actually have. I mean, why spend that when you can get like light plays for $80, man? I get the I have to have it near mint for collection, but that's so crazy to me. Ultimate Treeborn still have a market price at $93. You guys remember Frog the Jam, right? And the issues that this card has actually faced over time. Well, you know, we're still pretty much cruise controlling with that. Quarter century Treeborn Frogs. These are only like $13, man. This card actually is super cheap now. And then, of course, Dark Revelation 4 frogs, all the $8 copies. And then Swap Frog. Hey, look at this. Why buy an Ultimate Rare when I can just go pick up, you know, quarter century versions for $10 a piece? I mean, that was the one good thing that QCR actually has done for the game, was they took the most coveted rarities and unfortunately crammed them into the blender and brought them down to reality. Poison Draw Frogs from DRO4 also still a little bit of value. Same thing with BL's Frog here. DRO4 versions of this are $4. You know, it's almost like people like Frog FTK or something. Lost Art Frogs are a whole $4. Wow. Deuce versions also $2 to $3. Plat Swap Frogs are also $2 to $3. So, honestly, just looking back at some of the hilarious values that the frog cards actually have, I think is very interesting. Double Cyclone. So, we live in a format right now where Draco Tail looks like it's going to try to be one of the better decks. Who would have guessed that? And exactly, well, I mean, who guessed that? Makes sense, honestly. Double Cyclone here, you got to remember, Double Cyclone's purpose is to be able to, you activate a spell, your opponent chains flame, you're able to target or activate the Double Cyclone from your hand, pop your card, pop the other face down card that your opponent has, and you're basically causing a big interaction that allows you to basically continue to play the game, and your spell card will actually resolve in the graveyard, actually working in your favor. Yeah, every single copy of this card, even like the Speed Duel Trials of the Kingdom versions, are $9 a piece. All right, lowest rarities are coming in about $3 if you're lucky. Structure Deck Synchron Extremes are also at $5 a piece. I didn't think I would see a time where Double Cyclone would be this card that players would be looking at as, you know, a choice for the meta, but it makes sense. Oh boy, Sanwitch. I love that this card gets talked about in our Discord all the time. These are like nothing, man. This is one of those cards you look at and you're like, oh, hey. But then, you know, you've got somebody out here with a pipe dream coming in, buying 30 listings of these, 25 of these, 6 of these. It's a ready fusion target. It's also it's a dark spellcaster monster. So technically, I believe you could ready fusion this out, convert this into the Dark Magician Destruction, and kind of be able to keep playing along with the combo line for stuff. So I mean, there is an actual reason to this card actually going up. All right, next up here we have Evenly Matched. Oh boy, these are kind of getting out of hand. If you've not paid attention, your lowest versions available right now are, I mean, you have one for $49.95, you hit 50-50, and then another $49.99, and then you actually jump up to $50 at this stage, which, I mean, is kind of impressive, honestly. But it looks like, for most of what we've had here, it looks like this card has been doing pretty decently in terms of its price point. I mean, still but $50. Whatever $40 copies existed up until about a week ago actually just got cratered off the market. Yeah, actually, a couple weeks ago, these were 30s. They've jumped up to 40. And at this stage, I think we can safely say that, you know, you are actually pushing a little bit more than you should be for these. I mean, good news, I mean, you got every other version of this card. You don't have to be, you know, falling prey to that one. Box of Burst Protocol. Interestingly enough, these are holding at like $73 a piece right now. This might actually be the first core set that hasn't actually, you know, hit sneak peek weekend and actually had a dip down in the market. I actually pretty confident to say this is doing pretty decent right now. And honestly, I'm happy about that. We do want to see that, you know, stuff like this is doing pretty all right. Full salvo. Wow. These, you're telling me Lost Arts of these are $13 a piece. I'm almost impressed by that, honestly. Very, very interesting to see that this is doing interesting things. It definitely is a Lost Art. Sales ban. Hey, Droll and Lockbird went away. You know, do we still need to have sales bans? You know, do we still feel the same way about this card? Honestly, it's not a terrible thing to have. Especially, you know, if you're worried about certain cards. $4 right now on these for Seeker Rares, which is not terrible. The other versions of these, your super rares are 70 cents. And then you can get the OTS 29 commons for a whole whopping 20 cents. So, okay, I mean, it's not bad. Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. So, we are going to kind of take a peek into, I'll try on every Market Watch to take a little bit of a gander into some of those off-of-the-wall choices for quarter centuries that haven't actually disappeared yet. This being one of them, which I actually, you know, we just got a whole retrain for this, which is fine. But I mean, these are still like $5 to $6. Actually, crazy part, like you could have guessed it, these do escalate on up to $7, $8. So, yeah, we'll see if this does continue. Also, Dark Lord Tizzy. He's still $6. Honestly, I'm more impressed. Well, for $6. These do escalate on up. These Dark Lord cards, I tell you guys, you gotta keep an eye on these things. These guys definitely are some of the most interesting monsters that we've seen moving around in the game at the moment. I don't know why people love them. But please, you know, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys.
Patrons!
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.